From roasted bean to crystal perfection, this is where science meets flavor.
You wake up, stumble into the kitchen, and reach for that trusty jar of instant coffee. A few scoops, some hot water, and boom, coffee in seconds. But have you ever wondered how those little granules are made? Instant coffee isn't just ground up beans. It's a fascinating mix of science, engineering, and a whole lot of heat. Let's take a deep dive into how your morning lifesaver is created, from farm to factory to your mug, right here on History of Simple Things. Like any coffee, instant coffee starts with coffee beans. The two most common types used are Arabica and Robusta. Arabica is smoother and more flavorful, while Robusta is stronger and higher in caffeine. Instant coffee tends to use more Robusta because it packs a punch, both in taste and caffeine content. The beans are grown in tropical regions, mainly in South America, Africa, and Asia. Once they're ripe, they're harvested, either by hand or by machine, and then processed to remove the fruit and dry the beans. But here's the kicker. The beans destined for instant coffee aren't treated like your fancy single-origin espresso beans. They're typically roasted darker to enhance their solubility and extract more flavor. Now comes the roasting process. The beans are heated to around 200 to 230 degrees Celsius, causing them to release aromatic oils and develop that deep coffee flavor. The longer the roast, the stronger and more bitter the taste. Once roasted, the beans are ground into a coarse powder. But here's where instant coffee starts to take a different path. Instead of stopping at this step like regular ground coffee, these grinds go through an intense brewing process. Imagine making a gigantic pot of coffee, except this one holds thousands of liters. That's what happens at the instant coffee factory. The ground beans are brewed under high pressure, extracting every bit of flavor and caffeine. But this isn't your standard pour-over method. The water temperature is carefully controlled, usually between 80 to 90 degrees Celsius, to ensure the right balance of flavors. If it's too hot, the coffee turns bitter. Too cold, and it won't extract properly. Once the brewing is done, what's left is a highly concentrated coffee liquid. Now the trick is turning that liquid into the dry granules you see in the jar. And that's where the real magic happens. There are two main methods to dry out instant coffee: spray drying and freeze drying. Each one affects the final texture and taste. In spray drying, the coffee liquid is sprayed as a fine mist into a chamber filled with hot air, about 200 degrees Celsius or 392 degrees Fahrenheit. The droplets dry almost instantly, leaving behind tiny coffee particles. This method is quick and cheap but can sometimes reduce the coffee's natural aroma. Freeze drying is a bit fancier. First, the brewed coffee is frozen into slabs at around -40 degrees Celsius. Then, the frozen slabs are broken into small pieces and placed in a vacuum chamber. The pressure is lowered, and the ice in the coffee turns straight into vapor without melting. This is called sublimation. The result? Chunky coffee granules that retain more flavor and aroma compared to spray-dried versions. So, if your instant coffee has larger, more distinct crystals, it was probably freeze-dried. If it looks like fine powder, it was likely spray-dried. Now that the coffee is dry, it's time to package it. The granules are measured and sealed in airtight jars, pouches, or single-serve sachets to prevent moisture from ruining their solubility. One of the biggest advantages of instant coffee is its shelf life. Unlike ground coffee, which can go stale quickly, instant coffee can last for years without losing much of its flavor, thanks to the dehydration process. Manufacturers might also add stabilizers or aroma compounds to enhance the final product, making it taste closer to freshly brewed coffee. There's a reason instant coffee remains popular, despite coffee snobs turning their noses up at it. First, it's fast and convenient. No machines, no grinding, no mess. Just add hot water and you're good to go. It's also affordable and has a long shelf life, making it a go-to option for offices, travel, and emergency caffeine fixes. Plus, instant coffee is often used in baking, cooking, and even in some fancy barista-style drinks. And while it might not taste as rich as a freshly brewed espresso, instant coffee has come a long way. With advancements in freeze-drying and flavor preservation, some premium instant coffees can rival the real thing. Here's a few fun facts about instant coffee. The first commercial instant coffee was invented in 1901 by a Japanese chemist named Satoru Kato, but it didn't gain popularity until World War II, when it became a staple for soldiers. And did you know? Instant coffee dissolves in cold water too. That's why it's great for making iced coffee on the go. In some cultures, instant coffee is preferred over brewed coffee. In South Korea, for example, instant coffee mixes, which include sugar and creamer, are wildly popular. So, the next time you stir up a cup of instant coffee, remember, it's far more than just ground-up beans. It's the result of careful engineering, from selecting the right coffee varieties to the advanced dehydration methods that preserve its flavor. Whether spray-dried for efficiency or freeze-dried for a richer taste, each granule in your jar has gone through an intricate process to ensure your caffeine fix is ready in seconds. Instant coffee has transformed the way we consume coffee, making it accessible, affordable, and incredibly convenient. While some coffee purists may scoff at it, there's no denying its impact, whether in offices, military rations, space travel, or simply as a quick morning pick-me-up. And with innovations improving its taste and quality, even specialty coffee brands are embracing instant options. So, where do you stand? Do you swear by the slow ritual of freshly brewed coffee? Or do you appreciate the simplicity of instant coffee?